Welcome back, this is Shadowcoast with Shadowcoast Gaming. We are playing BattleTech Update 1.1 Iron Man Impossible Mode. For those of you just joining, that means we've maxed out the hardest settings in the game. If you want specifics on each one, please refer to episode 1 in this series. Alright, we are doing a priority mission. We are taking on Priority Mission Axylus. Now this will take us through a few dialogues which we will play through here. Please fast forward the episode if you want to get to the action. This is freeing the Argo effectively. We're starting with Axylus. We're heading to Alloway to pair up with a jump ship. Now one thing I'll note here, you can see this is very expensive. 70,000 alone is coming from our bank loan interest payment. So this is pretty high. I think we started with 980,000, so we're really only effectively up a couple 100,000 after running several missions, and that's why I'm taking on this priority mission, because it has a fairly large payout. Now it will be difficult because we need 8 pieces of salvage for a new mech. We are going in severely I would argue, under-geared compared to what we will be facing. Alright, let's keep going. A lot of traveling here. Now one thing I am looking for help on is renaming the company from the Marauders to something else. So if you have suggestions, please post. And based off the best suggestion, I will be updating the company name. Now you can see in the top left there. For an Iron Man Impossible mode, I want something inspired, so recommendations are much appreciated. Alright, so the first thing we always do, one of the things we cannot do is, unfortunately, AC 20 plus, 10 stability damage. We do not get plus weapons from salvage, that's one of the settings, so we have to purchase all plus weapons, or plus weapons. For the cost and the fact that we don't have a mech we can even put this on, I'm not going to go for it. The other pieces, I do want to check out the hiring wall, because rare mech warriors with higher skills are going to be very, very rare. So, Crazy Quilt, that's an awesome name, would be fantastic, but we don't have enough money to really support him. 32,000. This is a nice combination. You can sit there and just multi-target away. I'm very tempted, but we have 5 mech warriors and we have to manage our economy. Alright. Commander, I'm setting a course for Lady Centralla's jump ship. It's strange though. This moon it's taking us to Axylus doesn't appear on any of my maps, which leads me to wonder where exactly are we going and how do they intend to get us there. Several hours later, uncharted space. That was one hell of a rough ride. My stomach is still doing somersaults. That's because those crazy bastards used a pirate point to get us here. If we suffered a missed jump, our sour stomach would be the least of your concern. A sour stomach would be the least of your concerns. The leopard could have gotten irreparably mangled. Hell, we could have been irreparably mangled. The cautionary holovids they showed us at the academy were stuff of nightmares. A pirate point is a non-standard jump that exists inside a system's proximity limit. Pirate jump points or pirate points for short are hellishly difficult to navigate because they tend to be much smaller than standard jump points and are also subject to the effects of planetary gravitation. As a result, the odds of suffering a misjump when attempting to use a pirate point are high. When exactly did you realize what Centralla's jump ship crew was planning on doing? As we were on approach to dock with a jump ship, it was way out of position to use any legitimate jump point. Putting 2 and 2 together, I could guess at what we were going to do. Here's the Grim Sybil question, Meyer. Why didn't you say anything about this before we jumped? Because it wouldn't have mattered if I had. We couldn't afford to turn down this job. Given the situation, I figured that ignorance was probably bliss. We'll talk about this later, Meyer, but for now, what's done is done. We're here and there's money to be made. Let's focus on the task at hand. The Argo's crash site is here, smack dab in the middle of a pirate stronghold. The ship, the stronghold, and everything around it belong to a self-styled bandit queen called Grim Sybil. Her gang is the closest thing that Axylus has to a ruling council. Grim Sybil, is that supposed to be scary? It sounds like the kind of name you'd choose out of a hat. What do their defenses look like? They're patchy at best. I don't think that Axylus gets a lot of visitors. They have strong anti-air cover, but little in the way of ground-based defenses. I'm seeing a lot of vehicles, but battle mech activity looks light. Define light battle mech activity. What are we talking about exactly? I can't put an exact number on it. All I have are surface scans to go on. From what data I do have, I'd expect the pirates to be able to field a full lance of light battle mechs, all of them in poor repair. There are mixed reports of something bigger. That'll be Grim Sybil's mech. I don't have any information on tonnage or armament, but given the shape that everything else is on Axylus, I imagine it's being held together with chewing gum and baling wire. What else do you have on Grim Sybil? Before today, I've never heard of her. Yeah, I hadn't either. Centralla's intel says that Grim Sybil mostly stays put on Axylus, but she's got at least a dozen pirate gangs operating under her banner, so she must have something going for her. Sybil's bow is pretty sparse. There isn't a lot of meat there, just to note that she came up under Lady Paula Trevelyan, the pirate queen of the Tortuga Dominions, a bandit kingdom made up of entire systems of planets on the periphery. Tortuga Dominion's ruthless raids are a thorn in the side of both the Federated Suns and the Tarian Concordant. I guess that's impressive, having personal connection to Lady Death and all. Paula Trevelyan was born in the pirate kingdom of Tortuga Dominions and rose through the ranks to become the supreme leader of its legions in 3015. Her reputation for bravado and cruelty inspires devotion in her followers as much as it does fear in her enemies. Lady Death, really? I swear, man, these pirate names are killing me. What to expect, gang? They're pirates, not poets. Their only real job requirement is a willingness to kill for money. I should have gone with the second one. Yeah, I guess that's true, fair enough. Is there anything else of interest in that file, Darius? Don't leave us in suspense. Well, it looks like Trevelyan and Sybil had a falling out. It's not terribly surprising, given the Pirate Queen's track record. Sybil managed to survive somehow, good on her, and she's been living on Axylus ever since. The rest of the report is just a rap sheet. Apparently our bandit queen has racked up an astonishing number of kills over the years, mostly against merchants and freighter crews, but kills all the same. She likes to get her hands dirty, and she knows her way around a battle mech, and that's all I've got. So the pirates have vehicles and turrets, maybe a few battle mechs. Got it. Keep it going. Or keep going. The entire structure is surrounded by radar-guided anti-aircraft guns. Your first task will be to take down the radar towers so that Sumire can approach the derelict. After you've secured the crash site, she'll dock with the Argo and drop off the engineering team. Then they'll miraculously get a 200-year-old wreck flying again. Lady Centrella has bet a massive stack of C-bills that they will. For what it's worth, I believe that her chief engineer can pull it off. I've never heard of Dr. Farah Murad before Lady Centrella mentioned her, but I did some digging after the meeting. She was telling the truth. The doc has quite a reputation, supposed to be some kind of frontier engineering wonderkind, and a genius at bringing dead ships back to life. Lyran ancestry in Lyran Commonwealth. We'll see. I wouldn't expect to find a really top-notch engineer this far outside the Commonwealth. A little pretentious. Hopefully Dr. Murad will defy that particular stereotype. We'll find out one way or another soon enough. Good hunting, Jack. I'll be keeping an eye on you from up here. And there we have it. Ooh, okay. I do want one more day. Oh. Alright. I apologize. We have to go through all of this again. Did not realize Shadowcoast was injured, but we do want it. Let's skip through. And we could have done a different dialogue, but there we go. We have our lineup. I think we're going to stick with Bulwark because we are going to put Behemoth there, use that left arm to tank damage. Alright, so this is nice 1.1 million Sybils, which we desperately need. 3 out of 12 salvage, which we also desperately need. Destroy the radar towers, proceed to the Argo's crash site, defend against Grim Sybil's pirates while Dr. Murad's team restores power to the derelict. This is Iron Man Impossible mode, so if we fail, bye-bye to the entire campaign. Welcome to Axylus, Commander. It's every bit as charming as you'd expect a pirate-occupied moon to be. You'll find Grim Sybil's radar stations just ahead. Defenses appear to be limited to turrets and ground vehicles, for the time being at least. We know that Grim Sybil has at least one Lance battle mech, so be ready for anything. Be careful of the pirates' turrets so as you make your way into the base. They pack a nasty punch and they can also sensor lock your mechs. Aim for the turret generators. That'd be the fastest way to neutralize the threats. After pirates' radar stations are down, you'll be clear to proceed to the Argo. Good hunting, Commander. Knock out the radar cover, crush any pirate resistance, and secure us that derelict. Alright, so it has been a little while since I've technically only done this mission once, I think. Or maybe twice. Turret generator, and then I know there are turrets around here. And they have a bunch of vehicles coming, so
ready for orders.
We are going to stay in behind this crater.
Got it.
Shadowcoast definitely needs another point in piloting, so we see there are 2 turrets here.
Waiting for my opening.
Waiting for orders.
Now I think my hope is we get to go twice.
No one else singing this. Wake up, you idiots. We've got company.
They're driving giant battle mechs. We can't fight it.
Any more objections? Good.
Did you just
Get
shoot
out there
that guy?
and fight.
Just shot her own guy. That didn't seem very nice. 70%. So my hope is these 2 turrets will go bye-bye when this turret generator. Alright, something blew up, that's good.
Flatten that one.
Okay, that only blew up 1 turret. So again, we're taking our time. We can't screw this up. 97. We're gonna. What's the biome here? Vacuum sinks only 65 of their normal heat. So we're going to fire the majority of our weapons and take that out.
Target destroyed.
Great. So let's reserve and see where this tank goes, and if it will come into range. Reserving down one more time. Alright, so we have 2 enemies.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Coming around.
Moving fast.
I think we're gonna send Clutch and Decker this way. And we are going to reserve down and let them come to us. Alright, I'm glad we reserved down because now we know there are two over here.
Holding for tactical advantage.
Alright, good to know. Oh. So that one has LRMs.
Damage minimal. Yes, Commander. Aye, aye.
Let's see if we can.
Standing by. Moving out.
Now we're trying to leverage evasion, so lowering hit percent chance. And we really just want to take this guy out.
One more for the trash heap.
Good to go.
150 damage needed. Now I don't think what I could have done, and I'm regretting now, is we could have. Alright, we're just gonna use energy weapons. Slowly work on that building. Shadowcoast does have an angle on this guy. 41. And by the way, weapon mountings do matter. So what we're gonna do here is just focus the middle.
Engaging target.
So the side ones had much better hit percent chance. Like the side and upper mounts versus the middle mount, because that would have gone into the mountain. So this game is very detailed,
What's up, boss?
and I don't want to say necessarily complex because it's not. Like, I don't necessarily think that it's
Receiving you.
super difficult, but just all those details make for a wonderful game in my opinion. Let's see if 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they have more.
I hear ya.
And this is
Here we
first
go.
radar tower. So if we hit it one more time.
Receiving you. Moving out.
Ooh, no. We want to save some of this AC5 for the mechs we will be fighting.
Orders?
So we're gonna bring Decker down here. We're coming around to face these guys. Then we will take them out, and then we will worry about.
Target acquired.
And that should do it. We see it crumbling.
Fresh real estate available.
I love the commentary. We're gonna let Shadowcoast heat off. He's our main damage dealer. And that's reserved down. We're gonna let these guys come around. Now I think there are more turrets here, so we want to move as 4 up there to take out the turret. I just want to cover our backside. We know one of these guys has an LRM, so pilot striker. We damage or dodge most of it. We are going to eliminate this guy. Now one thing that would be nice is some sort of Overwatch ability, which, alright, so we have to do 48 damage to the front. So 2 odds, so we're just going to use our arm mounts. And again, biomes really matter, and if you know your biomes beforehand, you can actually customize your loadout, which we might be, I don't know if we can afford it, but we might do that. One thing I have to watch with Shadowcoast is that AC-20 ammo. Ooh. Just taking a little bit of a hit.
Damage minimal.
Good.
Waiting for orders.
So one thing we're doing here, since we have Glitch and Behemoth left, is focusing using our lasers and saving that ammo.
Waiting for orders. Commander.
For Shadowcoast, 19, so we have more than
What's up,
enough.
boss? Heading out.
SRM-2's 96, we basically can fire infinite numbers of those,
Aye aye.
since it's just 2 missiles.
One more for the trashy.
Alright, so now
What can I do
Glitch.
for you?
I do want to bring you here. We want to move together and make sure we're progressively taking out mechs. Now, part of this
Good to go.
is driven by the fact that we're trying to minimize damage and we're trying to decrease the risk of getting shot by anything, because one bad RNG roll could end a mech warrior.
Good to go.
So we are playing
Yes, Commander.
fairly conservative.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So I just want to make sure it can okay, so Shadowcoast can get in range. It won't be a very particularly good shot, but he is our main damage outputter. And let's see.
Engaging target.
Nice.
Enemy unit destroyed.
We are doing pretty well so far. Shadowcoast has taken some minor damage.
Moving to position.
We are
Moving out.
moving everyone up, max evasion. I don't think there are any more enemies. Otherwise we wouldn't be sprinting. Alright, these are... We are turning our left shoulder, our left arm here doesn't have anything in it, it's just armor. Oh shoot, did I braced?
Commander.
That was not my intention. My intention was just shoot the turret
Firing on
generator. Alright, so I'm pretty sure.
Standing by.
Pretty sure that thing will blow up when this thing blows up.
Firing on
I'm
target.
saving that EC5 ammo because we don't have as much of it. Alright, so
One less target.
this should blow up. And Shadowcoast. Why don't you come here? We're gonna save our AC2 ammo. And we are switching to energy weapons only. They do generate a lot of heat, but that's okay.
Receiving you. Heading out.
Again, we're using energy weapons. I know this is slow, we're not just running in there, but again, this is Iron Man Impossible mode. So any mistakes can be very,
Ready for orders.
very costly. So we are going to take our time, minimize mistakes, make smart decisions to ensure that this campaign goes for as long as possible, and ideally that we complete it.
Firing on target. Building's trash.
Alright, that's done it, Commander. The AA guns are down for now. Get to the crash site and secure the area. Yes, sir. So before we forget, we're just turning weapons on. And we do want to create some evasion chevrons, since I don't remember exactly where the enemies pop out.
I hear ya. On my way. Stabilizing and bracing.
Alright, so now let me remind myself, since it has been a little while. Alright, yeah, we have to come through here. I can't remember if there are like a few tanks. I think we only encounter mechs over here, but we will find out.
Waiting for orders.
Again, we're going to take a more conservative approach.
Betcha.
Confirmed.
Ensuring
Move order received.
alright, Decker, take a peek. See any bad guys in there?
Location confirmed. I read you, Commander. Moving out.
On it.
Sticking in tight formation, the strategy is to focus fire down, because I don't think we're going to have a real opportunity to
Copy that.
get around behind them.
Copy
I think
that.
Decker with his long jump capability, but then there'll be more guys. The crash rate secure, Seameyer, you've got clear approach path to the derelict. 2 steps ahead of you, XO. Watch yourself, Commander. I'm coming in hot. And there Seameyer is. Touchdown. Get that Argo up and running. Is that a giant cannon? That would be awesome. I don't remember seeing that on the Argo. Or maybe... Oh. Those things those are part of the ship. Okay, I remember. The package delivered, XO. I'm taking the Leopard to a safe distance before the pirates can get their guns running again. Roger that, Dr. Dr. Murad. Your team is clear to enter the derelict. I hear you, Miss Oliveira. We're making our way inside now.
Alright, people, you know what to do. Marines, clear the ship of pirates.
With pleasure, Dr. Murad.
Alright, so we actually have
Position confirmed.
ability. We're just getting into...
My neck.
Oh, was that a sprint? That was a sprint.
Position confirmed.
Okay, so we know those are all the guys. What do they have? They have 3 mechs, 2 tanks.
Good to go.
Alright, so we are going to let them make the first move.
Good to go. What can I do for you?
I'm just making sure. So I think it makes more sense to go.
What's up, boss?
This is tough. We're gonna just see how this divides up. Because I think we're gonna shift to the right. Because there are 3 here and 2 here, so we wanna clear one side quicker.
Standing by.
So again, normally I would turn to the tank with the left side. I just don't know how far around they can come, so I want to make sure I'm not presenting my back. Alright, medium, small laser, SRM2, medium laser.
Targeting for encounter.
Okay. For sure guaranteed. That guy's down.
Vehicle trash.
I know this can be hot. I won't be able to fire my... Alright, so I know this is armored, so we double it. 67. We do over 150. We do exactly 150. They all hit. We're riding that heat line.
All weapons committed.
Whew, there we go.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Taking weapons off the board.
Waiting for orders.
Now we're gonna see if we can get them to divide their forces and have one of them come around the other way.
Affirmative.
I'm gonna brace.
The pirates have Alpha Squad pinned down in the Argo's main hallway. Bravo Squad is holding the door to engineering, but you better hurry up.
Ooh.
Sergeant, talk to me.
That doesn't sound good. Alright, great. Oof. Shot at Shadowcoast. We don't like that.
Commander?
So this tank's really weak.
On the move.
We're gonna make sure we can take it out.
Roger that.
There we go.
Vehicle trashed.
So wait, there are 4 enemies left, so 2. I think more come, if I'm remembering correctly, later. So I'm gonna bleed off some heat here.
Good to go. Uh-huh.
Embrace.
Commander. Roger.
We're gonna put. Oh, we should have turned. We should have turned the shoulder more. Missed opportunity. And
Dr.
brace.
Farad, what's happening in there? Come in, Doctor.
A little busy. The pirates are dead. But so are half of my engineers. It's an unholy mess in here. Bodies everywhere.
Can you get the ship flying again? I need an update.
Look, do you want me to talk or do you want me to fix the damn ship? You do your job, I'll do mine.
Alright, so we are pulling Decker back. Jenner's a little bit scary. We are going to focus fire him down.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Shadowcoast is going to leverage a called or precision strike. And here we go.
Engaging target.
Waiting for orders. Coordinates received.
Backing up for a good angle. Alright. Let him have it.
Time to die.
There we go.
Did you see that? Did you see it?
Yes, we saw a glitch.
Ready for orders. Here we go.
Presenting the Shadowhawk now. Commando 66. We only get up to 50, so we're not going to precision strike. Oh, he gets to move. I really like Shadowcoast. And Shadow
Warrior injury.
is injured.
Yes, Commander. Roger.
So we will beat up this guy.
Orders. I will lead into it.
So we
Think I hit
massively
something good.
damaged him.
Waiting on you, Commander.
And just want to manage our heat. Oh, whiffed, but the medium laser did connect.
Should have run when you had the chance.
You think you're gonna steal my ship, you miserable little scrub? Nobody steals Grim Sybil from Grim Sybil. I'm gonna carve you like a roasted pig. Ooh, scary. That's a Big Mac. Yeah, but it's in terrible condition. Concentrate your fire and you should be able to take it. Alright, so here's the rub, guys. We are going to
Commander.
gonna move you here and keep you safe, Decker. Because you are in a very weak mech.
Yes, Commander.
And
On
Behemoth,
the move.
we're speeding it up. Shadowcoast. It's a hot commodity. Gonna hide you. embrace. Now, what we're really doing here is bleeding heat off, so
I hear
when
ya.
they do come,
Don't need to tell
we
me twice.
can alpha consistently. That's more for Shadowcoast's benefit.
Holding for tactical advantage.
Receiving you.
Alright.
Waiting for the shot.
Again, we're playing conservative.
Stabilizing. Engaging coolant system.
Bracing for impact.
There we go, that's exactly what we wanted. Uh-oh. Who can she see?
Ready for orders.
Alright, we're presenting more of that left side, because that left arm doesn't have anything on it. Is that, I think that's Grim Sybil. Yep, Grim Sybil. She's in a quick draw. Oof, where are the weapons? Heat sink, so I think it's pretty... Medium laser, medium laser. Right arm, medium, okay, so... Here, you have pretty good firing metrics.
Acknowledged.
Now, she is guarded, but
Good to go.
our strategy right now is pound her with everything we have. I am going to try to keep the Behemoth and the Shadowhawk closer.
Here we go.
Waiting for orders. Got it.
Now we can jump Decker out of the way, which we have every intention of doing next turn when he goes first. Alright, this is the tricky part. Because you run so hot. I think Shadowcoast is in for a nasty surprise, but let's see. Let us see. I know this is extremely hot. Let's take out that leg. Then we can kind of beat her up. Nope.
Receiving you.
I just don't want to put Decker. It's not worth the risk.
Jumping.
And a Shadowhawk. Okay.
Waiting for
That's
orders.
okay.
Up high.
We are presenting Behemoth. We are vigilancing her. And we are just
that.
doing as much damage.
What can I do for you? Good to go. Uh-huh. Special delivery.
Left leg destroyed, fantastic.
Yeah, critical hit.
Because she will lose guarded and be knocked down. Great. Well, this is risky for Shadowcoast, but we really want to take her out before she can stand up. 107.
Engaging target. Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Now we've taken out a lot of her armor. Wasn't confident we could destroy the leg. Uh-oh.
Ready for orders. Aye, aye.
Alright.
Target confirmed.
Now while we do get 3 pieces of salvage,
Coordinates.
I would rather just take out the threat.
That hit something good.
Uh-oh. Oh. Had it, another injury. 2 injuries. Holy smokes, that was very stressful. Now, this might be a mistake, but
Engaging target.
No! This
pilot
road is mine!
incapacitated,
You
so
can't-
we should get 3 salvage from the quick draw, which if you encounter other quick draws, that'll
Waiting
be
for
a little
orders.
bit easier. Now,
Engaging jump jet.
we're running hot, so we're going to race.
Orders.
Reserve. 3 pilot injuries.
Light damage. Holding firm.
So we're gonna have to wait until everyone is...
Good to go.
No, I think I don't move, so I should get right arm destroyed.
Solid connection on that one.
Yeah, I do get guarded.
Good to go.
Alright.
Engaging target.
Good to go. Got it.
We're having a little fun here, but this is potentially very dangerous. Did we miss?
Standing by.
No, really, since we're overheating, we're trying to knock them down. Great. -1 initiative phase.
Yes, Commander.
We are trying to end him. We don't need salvage.
Roger that.
We don't have any choices, really. I think we're gonna go 3. I'm pretty sure on the quick draw we did incapacitate. That's what it looked like. At least it looked like to me. So we are trying to just take this guy out. Seriously?
Commander?
Oh boy.
Commander?
Alright, so this animation sometimes gets screwed up. I've had this happen with a Shadowhawk in the past. My hope is that, yeah, there it
Targeting
goes.
for physical attack.
Left arm. Oh, he still can get up. How? See, this is scary.
Hot damn. Let's do this.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Pilot injured.
Target's taken a critical hit.
And knocked down. Gear Lance, the Argo commander, I'm just about done. Pilot incapacitated, so we're gonna have to decide Shadowhawk or Quick Draw. I have a feeling what we're gonna do is we're gonna decide on weight to see what we want to get started on, because remember we need 8 pieces of salvage to complete a mech. That's a lot, for those wondering. Alright.
Acknowledged. Right, Commander. Waiting for orders.
Which?
Coordinates received.
It's done. I can't believe it really worked. The engines are online and I have thrust control. Go now, celebrate later. Roger that. Hang on, Commander. For the first time in 2 centuries, this beast is going to fly.
Mission successful.
Dr. Murad pulled it off. I was a little skeptical. Alright, so we did look at that. That is awesome payout. Your performance was exemplary, Commander. I'll be certain to ensure the upper echelons of the Magistracy High Command hear about your skills. Oof. Which got lucky. So 1, 2, 3 pilot injuries. So we will be waiting. Blackjack Shadowcoast is our main damage dealer, and that's reflected, although Decker put in some good work. Alright, so the quick draw is 60 and the Shadowhawk's 55. So we're gonna build our quick draw as quickly as possible. And Hamuna, we got 2 out of 3 Shadowhawk salvage, not bad. AC5s, medium lasers. Perfect. I do like this higher difficulty level. It's, you know, we could just put together a quick draw and have a bunch of plus weapons on it. Subsequent missions would be a lot easier. I'm gonna go watch this. That we never would have guessed. Lady Kamea herself. And there we have it. We have freed the Argo in exile in high orbit over Alloway. You've done excellent work, Commander Coast, and you've earned yourself an opportunity to do more. Meet your real client. I don't believe she needs an introduction. I'm happy to see you again, Shadowcoast, or should I say Commander. You've done well for yourself. The old man would be pleased. It must come as a shock to you seeing us here on Alloway, seeing us at all. I apologize for that, but I had to be sure that you were the mech warrior I remembered before I reached out to you. Now, with the Argo on its way to Lyriton for repairs, it's a system in the Regan frontier. I know. You're everything I remembered and more. I'm happy to see you alive. Yes, but how? Forgive me, Lady Arano, but you're supposed to be dead. Lord Madeira, too. The news feeds ran footage of your dropship getting blown out of the sky on loop for months. That wasn't her dropship. The progress of her death were directorate propaganda. Well-crafted lies to keep the masses in line. And with that, Kamea, I'll leave you to your reunion. Best of luck with negotiations and keep me apprised of whatever decision you come to. Centrella fades away. Lady Centrella was right about the propaganda, Shadowcoast. My uncle's directorate is run on lies, though in this case they nearly became true. The directorate's assassins pursued us into the frontier. In the months following the coup, we had more than our share of close calls. Eventually they gave up looking for us. We've been living in exile ever since. Where have the two of you been hiding for the past 3 years? As far from the directorate space as we could get without leaving the frontier. A miserable little ball of rock called Zathras. It was a nasty, brutish planet full of internecine strife and bloody turmoil. There were power struggles and mad nobles, plagues and zealots, and holy wars. So you're saying it was a typical frontier world. More or less, living on Cormadir, I heard stories about the problems that many frontier systems face, but I was detached. I never saw how rough life outside of the Regan Coalition could get. My uncle's coup changed everything, Shadowcoast, including me. You send us after the Argo, I'd like to know why. In part, a test of your abilities to make sure that your performance on Cormadir wasn't a fluke. Our experience in the crew has taught us to be careful, Commander Ghost. We couldn't just reach out to you on faith. But the Argo herself is important as well. It isn't just a ship, Shadowcoast. She's a symbol of reclamation and rebirth. The return of better days. You'll see for yourself soon enough. She was a majestic vessel once, a true product of the Star League. Under Dr. Murad's care, she will be again. From 2570 to 2780, the Star League was an interstellar council formed from the Terran hegemony. And I'll let you guys read the rest. Okay, you made it off of Cormadir and you found me. Let's talk about why. I imagine you've already guessed. I intend to seek justice for my uncle's crimes. I intend to take my throne back, but I can't do it without you. We have resources, an army drawn from all across the frontier. Perhaps most importantly, we have the patronage of Lady Centrella and the tacit support of her government. That means money, a great deal of money. Yes, I'm assuming Centrella is not doing this out of the goodness of her heart. No, the Magistracy sees Kameya's claim to the throne as an asset worth paying for. They want to see the Directorate dealt with, but it isn't in their interest to do it themselves. They prefer to keep their own hands clean. The Rimworld periphery is a powder keg, Shadowcoast. Tensions between the Tarian Concordant and the Federated Suns are high, and my uncle's military posturing could be viewed as a provocation by either side. If open conflict between superpowers were to erupt, it would be difficult for anyone to remain neutral. The Magistracy wants to avoid getting dragged into a major war. And your House Centralla's best hope for a clean solution. They fill your war chest, you remove the Directorate from the board, and the Magistracy lets tension between the Federated Suns and the Tarians simmer down on their own. Excuse me, I had a yawn. Am I reading the situation correctly, Lady Arano? Correctly enough, Mr. Oliveira, but understand that this isn't just about diffusing a dangerous situation. For me, taking on the Directorate is personal. I mean, he did usurp your throne. My uncle betrayed me. The Founding Council has been reduced to a handful of powerless figureheads. Our very identity has been cut away and discarded. House Espinosa is long overdue for a reckoning, and with your help I will bring them one. Join with me, Shadowcoast, and we will not fail. You have my pledge to support you. I was hoping you said that. Of course, you cannot wage war on my behalf while your travel restrictions remain in place, and so I shall break them. Now that you have pledged yourself to me, I will buy your company's debts, all of them. You'll be free to travel and seek clients as you please, so long as you come to me when I call for you. And on the day that I reclaim my throne, your obligation to me will be forgiven. Your debt right wiped clean. Of course, you will also be paid for every battle you fight at our behest, at a rate that will feel quite generous, given the clientele that you're accustomed to. Thanks to House Centrella, we have money to burn. I took down the scum that betrayed my family, Kameya. It seemed only right that I help you do the same. Thank you, Shadowcoast. I feel that Raji Montgomery is smiling down on us, even now. I'll take my leave of you now. I have an army to rally and preparations to make, but it won't be long before I contact you again. And when I do, I'll need you to be ready. I'll need you ready. Prepare yourself and your company, Shadowcoast. Our war is about to begin. Lady Arano just bought up all our debt, Commander. That means no more banks restricting our jump ship access. We can travel to more systems now, but we should steer clear of major states. We don't want it to look like we're going to cut and run. Good news, Commander. Once Dr. Murad and her crew got that wrecked ship safely away, they found most of a Centurion in its cargo hold. It's not equipped for combat yet, but with a little love and attention, I think we could return it to service. Swing by the mechaway to check it out and order a refit. So I forgot that we eventually do get a few mechs, which is so great as we progress the campaign. Centurion C9A, a sturdy and reliable mech. The Centurion is good at both taking and giving a beating. CN9A models are able to engage at any range, but their damage curve increases as they approach the target, so it's more like a brawler. Fantastic. Alright, so we do have 19 days. One thing real quick. Alright, we already looked at that. That hasn't changed. We're going to check out our mech warriors. They are injured and healing.
Waiting for orders.
What's up, boss?
Yes, Commander.
We do want Indirect fire penalty. We're getting 4 on all these before we start progressing up.
Training confirmed.
We're grabbing the second talent and then progressing to our grabbing a second minor talent, and then we will progress fully up to our specialty talent eventually for each of our mech warriors. Now we did receive some damage, or I thought, no, we didn't receive damage. I thought one of them got through a little bit of armor. Centurion, medium. Now here, it's a medium mech. Hold on, I want to show you something. Normally, where is the description? Brawler and general assault. The Centurion is designed as direct line mech, being both powerful and versatile. In addition to good armor, the CN9A normally mounts an AC-10, two medium lasers, and an LRM-10 rack. This stripped down mech supports only a single medium laser though. So it does come with a single medium laser, and that's alright. So we're going to do a little customization here. Now we don't have an AC-10 yet, and I'm not willing to shell out for one, so we're going to stick with an AC-5 and AC-5 ammo. 15 rounds, I think that should be good. Now we do have 2 lasers in the middle, so we do want to fill that out. And we have 3 missile bays. Now here, AC-5 is very long range, so we could throw on an LRM-10 and an LRM. How much are LRM? Oh, well, we only have. So let me see, the LRM-15. No, LRM-10's better, and you'll see why here. We're gonna put 2 LRM ammos in here, and this is a longer range mech. I like jump jets on all my mechs. And heatsink, heat efficiency. So I'm kind of debating here. If we go with just one LRM-15, and that gives us 240 rounds, which should be more than enough. Okay, so I guess there's no advantage. Like, the LRM-15's no lighter than doing 2 LRM-10s. Or is it? I think, yeah. Oof. Trying to think. Decisions. Let's rethink this here. If we make this a true brawler, where are the heat sinks? Protect that. So, very long range. Then we close the gap. To me, that makes sense. It's a brawler. Now, each SRM ammo. And before I confirm, we have to think about this because it costs money and time. Has 100 rounds. So the question that I'm asking myself is, do we go with an AC-2? How many pins? 25 rounds. That opens up 2 slots. And how much SRM 6? Tons 3, so that's over. We could go with an SRM 2. And max armor. We just redistributed armor, but it gave us some weird numbers. I'm trying to think, like the center's protected. The legs are just so weak. I get a little nervous there. Now all these ones that are odd numbers are resetting to even numbers. I just don't want to get legged and knocked down. $125. We're gonna protect. Holy smokes, 39 days, guys. That is crazy.
Logged and
But this is
shouldn't be too hard.
Iron Man mode, hard mode. Alright. Just so everyone can see again, these are the settings. Refer to episode 1 if you want to know the specifics. We are playing this update 1.1 on the hardest settings possible. I hope you enjoyed. This was Priority Mission Axylus and Freeing the Argo. Catch us in the next episode. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe, post. I am looking for a company name, so taking suggestions. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. See you later.